Hey guys, welcome back to another Coding Flamingo video. So I was going through my projects, kind of updating them to .NET 5, and I was creating videos about how to update to .NET 5 and how much more performant it is, since everybody's writing blogs and everything about how much performance you get about .NET 5. But one thing that I wanted to touch on is you can get all the performance you want for this new language, which is really fast. But if you don't use their libraries properly and everything, and your code is still garbage, your code is still going to be slow. It's going to be a little bit less slow, but it's still going to be pretty slow. So like, it doesn't matter if you use Python, .NET, whatever you use, as long as you're doing the stuff right, it'll be faster. If you do the stuff wrong, it doesn't matter what you use, it's still going to be slow. Getting back into topic, so I was going through our SQL and email Blazor page that we created, and I was updating the NuGet packages, and I noticed this little thing that says that something is no longer supported. So I went through and found that the Key Vault one is deprecated, and you should not be using deprecated packages for the same reasons. You're not getting performance improvements, you're not getting security improvements, and so on. So I wanted to make a video about it. What's the new way of accessing Key Vault? So they broke this down into different NuGet packages. So you have like Azure Security Key Vault secrets and keys and certificates. So we're going to remove this, and we're going to update our Key Vault service. And that's one of the cool things about just making a service. You just have to update that, and everything else will keep working in your application without even knowing that the Key Vault changed. So now we get some squiggly stuff that we're going to remove. And I already went ahead and added the new one just because I don't like typing a lot in front of the camera. So another thing I wanted to add is every time we were using this, we were going and getting the value to Key Vault. And that's okay if you're not doing it that often. But if you're doing it every time the user calls or everything, there is no point of adding those 200 milliseconds or however long is your code to go get it from Key Vault when the secret is not going to change that often. So I also added a cache, which was the point that I was going to make this video, and then I realized that the Key Vault NuGet package was deprecated and that we had to change it. So we no longer need also the token provider, because what they changed also is we use Azure.identity now, and they're trying to like centralize the way all their NuGet packages authenticate, and it's with the Azure.identity, and I'll talk about it in a second too. We can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, and let's talk about also how I initiated this. So in here, I created a singleton, and I added the interface. You want to create an interface so you can make your code testable, and I added the service. And then in here, so that makes it that you can inject it into any of your services, and I actually inject it into my email manager, as you can see here, and I inject the interface. And in here, so I'm passing the memory cache, which is what we're going to be using for caching, and for doing that, we are adding the add memory cache in the startup. And this one requires you, so this new NuGet package requires you to kind of like create this secret client for the Key Vault. So you can no longer be calling a bunch of Key Vaults. You have to create it when you're calling the Key Vault. So if you would be calling different Key Vaults each time you call it, you might have to pass the Key Vault URL and create a new one each time. Or if it's a preset, you can set them here and have like a dictionary or something for them. And then I'm using the default Azure credentials. That's like the kind of like easy start that they have in here. And if we go here, the Azure identity documentation tells you that there's many different ones you can use. You can just use the default Azure credential that basically will check for environmental credentials, managed identity, shared token cache, Visual Studio credential, Visual Code credential, Azure CLI credential, and interactive browser credential. So it'll go through all of those in order. If you want to use another one, you can use like managed identity directly, or you can use client secret or client certificate credential. So that's the different authentications. In this case, we're using the default because I always use Visual Studio identity. And then when I move it to the cloud, I use MSI. And to set up Azure Visual Studio identity, we just go to Tools, Options, Azure Service Authentication, and make sure your account is there selected. And what will make that, it will use that account to access the Key Vault. So make sure that that account has access policies in the Key Vault and so on. So then in here, I'm passing the Key Vault. And if we go to app settings, we can see here, that's the name of the Key Vault that I created. I created it with Pulumi. That's why it has the random ending. And then same with the secret, it was created by Pulumi. So check out that video, I'll link it down below, and the queue name. So like, this is gonna send it to the queue, and now I'll remake the video about how to send emails using Azure Logic Apps. So it will also be linked down below, so make sure to check them out. So let's get back into the Key Vault service. So we're creating the secret client in the constructor, and the memory cache, we're just assigning it to the read-only variable. And in here, whenever they call it, so this is the function they actually called it, and it's the only one that we have in our interface for this one. They go Key Vault secret, and they're passing the secret name. So that's the one that I mentioned here. And then we're gonna go and check the cache. If the cache has it, it'll just get it from the cache and it'll return the secret. And if it doesn't have it, it will go to Azure Key Vault, get the secret, and then return the secret, add it to the cache, and set it for 1 hour. The reason I do this is because you want to have it, but like for key rotations or something, like you don't want to have it too long, like 24 hours or something, because if you have to emergency rotate your key or something, it will cause an outage. Like you're gonna forget that you had a cache and that like it's failing, and it's just gonna cause an outage. So make sure it's a short amount, so it's just not every call. Actually, for like real stuff, I usually do 15 minutes, because like one call every 15 minutes to go to Key Vault and be 200 milliseconds faster, it's fine. So that's how I do it. So, and then it'll go here and it'll use the secret and stuff. We'll cover that in the next video. So up until here, we just need a breakpoint here, because that's until where we care. We don't care about the service bus stuff. So let's go and let's run it and see how it goes. All right, so now it's up and running, and I already have another tab with all the information ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the add user. And actually, let me just set up a breakpoint. Oh, we already have the breakpoint. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the add user. And now we're stopping here. So let's jump into the Key Vault and we'll see. So it's trying to get the value of the secret. There was nothing because it's the first time we're running it, so there's nothing in the cache. So it'll go to Key Vault, get the secret, and now it returns, and we can see the actual key is there. And then it'll return it, blah, 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 and it'll do the rest. So we're just gonna go, and then the next time we run it, so I'm just gonna run it again. If we go in, it should get it from the cache, so it'll skip the rest. So as you can see, now secret has all the information, and it didn't have to go to Key Vault, way faster. So that's how you add cache to a Key Vault, and that's how you call Key Vault with a new SDK. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.